Welcome, PSJA. Thank you very much for being here on our second episode of this two-part series where we're highlighting Wakelet as one of our educational tools for the month of May. And I'm very pleased that we have a presenter from Wakelet, Ryan McGinnis, right? Did I say that
Yep.
right, Ryan? Ryan McGinnis is here with us from Wakelet, so he's going to show us a bunch of cool stuff. I think today's uh, stream, it's going to be a little bit more advanced than the stream we had about 2 weeks ago. So our stream 2 weeks ago was kind of like an intro to Wakelet. This one's going to be a little bit more advanced, and maybe have a few tips and tricks on using Wakelet. So with me today we have my colleague Deborah Pingle, and I am Marco Torres. We are part of the PSJA Instructional Technology team. And if you feel free, if y'all have any questions, put them in the chat. Me and Debbie will feed those to Ryan, and then he'll be able to answer any of the questions that we have. So with us today, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you, Ryan. Thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here again. Last time it was just an intro to Wakelet, kind of showing you the ins and outs and how to use the platform. But today we've curated something a little bit different. So being able to show how we can make sure can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Awesome. So being able to, like the screen says, elevate your teaching with Wakelet. And what we want to do is showcase just some of the features and things that we can do inside of the platform to really highlight what allows, Wakelet being able to utilize in a bunch of different ways. So one of the very first things I want to talk about is, we talked last time about this content bar and being able to just copy and paste any web address in here alongside text and pictures and images, PDFs, all of these integrations here. But what I wanted to talk a little bit about at the very beginning is Wakelet, again, we work with anything from anywhere across the web. So even though you don't see the icon here inside of this waffle or anywhere else, it doesn't mean that the integrations don't work. So I created a collection in here for you just to showcase, and Tisha and I lab on this one all the time. There's examples of what Wakelet integrations can look like when you bring other tech tools and famously app smash them together. So inside of this collection, it's in that resource collection that I shared with you. You'll notice how things look just like the apps that we work with, we partner with. And what's really cool is we partner with them so that their API is built in a way that their tools look and feel very much like the tool that it is that you're used to using. An instance of this is Spotify. You don't think of adding a Spotify collection to a Wakelet very often, but think about meditation or mindfulness or calming rooms. Really great use cases for guidance counselors and other teachers. But I can put an entire Spotify playlist inside of here, and I can actually scroll. I can click down through the music. It'll play. So I get all of that ability inside of this playlist. And what's cool is when I update the playlist in Spotify, that live link actually updates in here as well. Book creator. If you pop a book creator book in here, you can read the book. You can flip the pages just like anything else. You can have your narration going on if there's audio involved. So it's really neat that just like book creator, you can toss those inside of Wakelet. And again, mix and match and find the best content for what you're working on. If you've got those Nearpod lessons, you can put that self-started lesson link in here, self-guided, self-paced lesson link, and it's going to take them with one click directly to that if the link was valid, which I apparently have not fixed that one yet. Same thing with quizzes and Kahoot. I can launch this Minecraft Education Kahoot challenge that I did, and it's going to take me right into the Kahoot challenge. And it's going to start asking me the questions right away. So I give my name, you click OK, go. And if I try this out, you see I'm already into Kahoot. I'm taking my challenge. So a great way to challenge your students who are maybe working on a task, you could give them this challenge where they could do a little bit more. So you see the quiz is popping up. I've got 12 questions. When I welcome to Minecraft, I need to sign in to use my. We've all played Kahoot, so you can see that. So I don't need to keep going with that idea. But the idea is that you are able to send and assign these materials so that you have them. Loom videos, they look like Loom videos. Genially, if you use Genially at all, you can click to activate, and then the touch points actually become clickable. So now I can utilize that aspect of that as well. Here is Instagram, and it looks like Instagram. So I just want you to see and have the chance to flip through this collection, and there's a lot more in here. Flip looks like flip. Like these tools are meant to supercharge that engagement, or as we said in the title of this, elevate your teaching, because you can bring those apps from everywhere and put those things together. And one of the ways you can do that is inside of our Explore page. If I open up the Explore page, you will see we do have this carousel of items to help you get started. And one of them is this blue one here that is partner templates. And these are templates from some of our favorite partner apps like Book Creator, Quizzes, Canva, Google, Microsoft Flip, Adobe Express, and more, where you can say, you know what, I really want to do a goal tracker. And we've worked with Flip to create this goal tracker template. And inside of here, we give them my goals and how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to achieve this. And they're meant to use Flip to do the videos, to submit their answers back to these prompts. And these are in here. You just go ahead and click make a copy, and it's going to ask you where you want to make a copy to. And then it's yours, and you get that ability to set it up. So you don't have to start from scratch. You've got templates in here. You know, if you want to use Genially, digital backpacks in Google, right? You've got the ability to put all of your material and icons in there. Adobe Express and About Me poster challenge. Adobe Express is great as well as Canvas for getting all of those items and materials and just creativity flowing. So I want that partner templates idea is out there and ready for you to look over. And I thought it was really important just to see, like, yeah, you can build digital portfolios with Wakelet. That's one of our biggest use cases, is for students to follow themselves year after year after year and see their learning progress, especially when you think of how they can bring in all the things they're creating from all those other tech tools to showcase what they're really good at. Book clubs, research, science labs. This becomes one of those abilities to just take things and go off in a whole nother level. And I may have said this last time, the price of a trifold board is $4. And you get to use it once, and you get to make one poster board for a project. But then you got to do something with it, and you got to figure out how to store all of those. And then the next time the project comes up, you have to pay $4 more. That's the price of a student license for Wakelet EDU. $4, and your students could have unlimited resources, materials, and collections all set up. We also know that teachers need some help sometimes in finding ideas and inspiration. So again, inside of that Explore tab, same place you found the App Smash templates, we also have lessons. And this is brand new to us back in December. I think it was our first launch. We have a certified trainer program of self-selected certified trainers who have gone through a rigorous training process. And what they're doing is they're creating these lesson plans and collections that are available to you to just make a copy of and start using as well. So it's not just that App Smash idea. We've got pre-made ones already. So if you're talking about mindful breathing for STAR testing, you can click into this collection. You see there are things already made for you, breathing techniques if you want to help your students get prepared. And if you want this, you make a copy. It's yours. You can tweak it, edit it, change it, make what you want out of it. There's lessons for Pancake Day. I feel like every day should be Pancake Day. There's just a whole bunch of them that are in here. We've got a couple that were created with Booklet or with Wakelet Book Creator and Epic all together. So these ones are pretty neat. It's got a big app smash of all of those together. You can look through, you can flip through. You got planning sheets, activities, and Jamboard. These ones are super incredible, and you can just take it and go, right? Even got some Google Earth action down here. So you don't have to just start from the very bottom. Also, to help you, rely on each other. The Wakelet community is so powerful and incredible. We put together Wakelet for everyone. So depending upon your tech role, if you're a tech coach, here's a bunch of different use cases and people to follow. middle school, high school, if you're a counselor, how to connect with your parents through this, librarians. There's a whole lot more. So just take in there and find your inspiration of how you can utilize Wakelet to help meet your role. I know I keep going back to this Explore tab, but let me tell you, it is packed full of material. So we do have templates in here as well. These templates are also ones that can just help you get started. We've got lesson plans. We've got ones for collaboration. We've got ones for exit tickets and icebreakers. You're going to have the support of us at the team, as well as these templates and things to get started. One of them that I love the most and I use at pretty much every training I go to or conference event is a playlist. And me, I love music, so I think that's why I gravitate towards this. But think about your classroom. We think about our classes and we want to meet them where they are, find their interests, get them engaged in the classroom. And sometimes it could be as easy as taking your class attendance with a Wakelet collaborative assignment. So here, I ask everybody at one of my Wakelet sessions, I say, hey, when you come on into the session, here's today's get started, and I'll pull this up as the QR code and put it up on top of my screen. And when people come into the session, they can hit it with the camera, and instantly they're taken into my collection where they can then add what their theme song would be, right? If you like WWE style, when you walk into a room and a music would just play, your theme song, what would that theme song be? And it's an easy question for everybody. So they put their answers in, and you can see, because they all have accounts, I can tell who exactly submitted which song, right? And if they were anonymous, if they didn't have accounts, it would just say anonymous at the bottom of their names. But now I've also created a playlist that when my students are working in that classroom, I can go in here and say like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play Harry Styles. And someone's gonna be like, oh, that's my song. Like, you just created this fostered environment of cohesion in the classroom. Like, you brought a piece of them into the classroom. And I think that's super powerful, that sense of community. And again, this is just one of those really quick and easy icebreaker templates. You can set this up and redo it again each and every time. For teacher use, you think about how we share anyway, right? Hopefully we aren't in silos anymore. We've done that before. It didn't work really great. So how about being able to have a shared PD or a resource library? In my former school, I was one of 9 fifth grade teachers. We were all teaching the same content. We're all teaching the same stuff. How cool would it have been to have a resource collection in Wakelet, where if we're talking about a unit, I can have all of the videos, the PDFs, the worksheets. I can have it just loaded with what I need. And then based on chapter, theme, module, or unit, I could just go in here and find what I need. I wouldn't need everything, but I could pick and choose. If my kids needed a video, I could pull the video out for estimations. If they wanted to do real world problems, I can just find it in here. I don't have to open up that giant bookmarks section of my browser and try to find everything at the last minute. So the more that you curate your materials and resources, you and your colleagues at school could have a really great resource library that you can share together and put that all inside of there. Classroom newsletters. Again, one of the best use cases for this. I'm guilty of it too. Again, former educator, 17 years in education. My wife still teaches. My daughter comes home, she gives me the newsletter and hands it to me. I look it over and I'm like, okay, good. And I chuck it away. But imagine if it could be so much more dynamic. And through Wakelet, I can put the greeting for each week or each month. Here are their important dates that they need to know about. And I could even link to calendars or hyperlink to invitations or PDFs or reminders. Reminders here, if I'm sending home a field trip permission slip form, it's like field trip season right now, you could put the PDF in there so that if it ever get lost on the way home, I don't know about you, how many times paperwork gets lost between home and school, but I could have the PDF version right there in the collection so that when I send this out to my parents, they don't need an account to view it. But if they're opening it up on a phone or a laptop or a tablet, it'll open up that PDF version and they could print from there to make a whole new one ready to go to send in. So really cutting down on the opportunity for losing those items. Here's what we're learning this week or month. And then a student showcase. With your phones laying around, you can put 15 photos at a time uploaded into a Wakelet collection. We host unlimited pictures, but you can do 15 at a time from your mobile app. So think about taking those pictures of great things in the classroom or artwork or just student work in general, and you could just highlight that and send it out to the parents. It now provides that open snapshot to what's going on in the classroom. And then links and resources. We've all wanted students and parents to follow along and do extra things at home, but it's hard to get them to do things when it's written or typed out on a piece of paper and sent home. Now I can just add the hyperlink to what I want them to do together, and they can click and access it and go through. So these templates are in here. Again, you can make a copy and start using it right away after today's session. Another great one is utilizing your public profile. You know, everybody has a public profile inside of your Wakelet account. And what I've liked about this teacher is she uses it as like her classroom landing page. So in this case, Miss Allie here, she has her kindergarten weekly lessons. And you can see that they're in here based on date and time, as well as math, ELA and phonics, math, ELA, math. You're able to keep up to date with what's going on each week. Here's what they're working on. Here's what they did. Here's all the pictures and images and settings. If I was a parent in this classroom, I would feel like I knew exactly what was going on between the weekly lessons. Here's your spelling lists. Here's your science activities and things you can do in between, especially the Magic School Bus, like super cool. Getting able to stay up to date with those. If you're talking about, you know, mindfulness and just practicing those as well as learning videos, this is a one-stop shop for your students and for your parents to close that gap between home and school. Excellent use case. You can put materials onto your profile page. So any one of these collections, like this coffee one, when I share it, I also have the option to publish. Just because I share it doesn't mean it's published. Until I hit publish and click publish, then it's going to show up on my public profile page. And you see mine looks like a little bit different than Miss Allie's. My profile page has, there is my coffee collection, but I've got portfolio resources. I've got digital learning resources. I've got templates. I did a lot of video game coding and teaching in the classroom before joining Wakelet. So you can go in here and find those collections and presentations. It's just, this profile page is like the mini me. It's like my mini repertoire of things that I've got inside of my collection. And then I tossed in here, just again, this collection. I may have shared it last time, I'm not sure, but I keep updating this every time I see teachers and how they're using Wakelet in the classrooms today. And you'll see, this is Tara Tesmer from Illinois. She just posted this, yesterday, May 15th, about how they are using Wakelet to organize and visualize their creative designs as an art portfolio. Again, that same school, they're also embedding Canva presentations and Google Earth projects to put them inside of a Wakelet collection. Down below, we've got a school district here just outside of Buffalo who read the book The Zoo. They created storyboards for a movie adaptation. And they did that on paper and pencil and colored crayons and colored pencils. And then they took pictures of it and curated some of those ideas inside of Wakelet to make their final project. And I think that's the power, is Wakelet, again, we don't just want to be up in your face all the time, Wakelet, Wakelet, Wakelet. If you do things in pencil and paper, you can take a picture and upload it into a Wakelet collection, right? It's there for you. It's able to be multimodal, but you can just find all of those different things. Student podcasts, you know, podcasting is huge right now, especially students being able to talk about it. One of these I really enjoy is from one of my neighboring districts, but being able to go in here and keep tabs on every episode of their student athlete podcast, it's right here. And you can go in and listen to each one of these show notes, right? So I can click into that collection. Here's the show notes. Here's each episode. But it's simple and easy to find all of those materials, again, in a single location. School projects, if you're working with student projects, each kid could do their own Wakelet collection and then turn it into you, and then you can just take each kid's project. Each one is a separate student. So here's this person's climate change project. Here's this one. Here's this one. These are all different students who are creating these projects. but they're housed inside of one collection. So imagine you were doing this overarching unit. Students are putting their final collections in here, and then I could share this out to the parents and say, here's our final product, and everything is in there. If they can't make it to the science fair, they can still see all the collections inside. I know it's a lot coming at you, so I apologize, but the last couple of things, we've got some really exciting updates coming. Community week for us is just under 2 weeks. The first week of June is Wakelet Community Week. It's our big week where we launch a bunch of new features, launch of new things. So some of you, if you're noticing and clicking around inside of my collections, I have AI image generation. I don't know if I talked about this last time or not. This is coming down the line as well. So I'll be able to go in here and use AI to generate an image to make my collection, a little bit more personalized and customizable. I can also do that for my cover image. I can do it for my background image. So I'll have that ability to do that. That'll be limited on the free version. It will be unlocked on Education Pro. We do have our video record and video upload feature. Again, this is not part of the free version of Wakelet. This is in our Education Pro version, but you'll have the ability to upload and record video. So if you want to make your collections more personable, or if you want to be a science teacher and you're out and about, you can record something on your iPhone or Android camera roll and then upload that video right to your Wakelet collection. So you can be more mobile and more effective with your teaching practices as well. We're also adding a new feature that isn't out officially yet, but will be, so I can give you the hush hush, is the ability to mix and match all of your template styles. So right now I'm in media view with all of my content scrolling from top to bottom. That's one of our layout choices is media. We also have grid view, which is, columns 2 and 2. And then we've got a mood board, which is more along the lines of like a Pinterest style layout. Then we've got column view that puts it all into one column until you sort it out like a choice board. But what's really interesting about this new version is we're going to have the ability to add sections. So I could have a collection where I present my information to the students at the very top in line, like in order, go to this website, watch this video, do this task, and then I can put a section in. And then I can maybe have a mood board where it's all laid out and they can do something different there. Maybe that's an exit ticket strategy. And then at the very bottom, I can put another section, and then I can have a column view. So I could have 3 different layout types inside of a single Wakelet design. And I could have that column view could be a choice board. So as my students are working through, they can find, all their information in separate sections. So I'm really excited about that as well. And again, spend some time in this explore category, right? I don't want anybody out there to think about what they can't get started or there's not enough support. Whatever it is that you teach, I love maths. It's so British of us to put maths. But if you click on maths, you can go right into your maths collection and you can find resources, materials, things that have been tagged in the background for what the content actually is. And you can make a copy of any one of those. If you want to talk about portfolios with your students, we have a portfolio course ready to go, and you can start with a portfolio. Our Education Pro plan allows the students to take their portfolios with them when they graduate, which means seamlessly they can take it and use it for college applications, career readiness institutes. They can take that with them, whether it's military ready too, but they can build the best them. But this course is in here to help them learn how to build a portfolio that's at the basics, at the very best. And then these are top picks. These are things that are current, that are getting lots of traction on Wakelet, lots of clicks, lots of opens. So we move them front and center so that you can see exactly what, what's current and trending. No surprise, AI book list, these books about AI, it's right there. So if you're interested in that, that is on there as well. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and see if we have any questions.
We don't have any questions yet,
Okay.
but thanks for showing us the kind of a sneak peek of what's to come for Wakelet, and I'm glad that Debbie put out the Wakelet Community Week. I was curious that during that week, are they going to say some more upcoming tools that are going to be within Wakelet?
Yes, we're going to launch a couple of new integrations. We're going to have a whole bunch of new announcements to go out. So some of them have been sworn to secrecy, but I can share some of them, which is nice. We've got a lot of good things planned. And the best part is it's a full week of free PD, right? So Wakelet Live kicks off on Monday, June 3rd. And that's like our big app keynote kind of deal, like where we announce a lot of things. But the rest of the week, we've got teacher-led sessions. So people in the same classes as you, or leading the same classes, or in the same jobs as many of you. And they're sharing their success stories with Wakelet. So it's not top down, it's not from us. We're there to support and co-host, but you get to hear how they're using it, whether it's free or whether it's anything else. It's super cool of how they're using both different versions.